Welcome back, everyone, to another week of Shonen Junk. My name is Ben, and I'm with my co-host
Edgar
Edgar.
again.
Is here. I say that every time. I don't know why.
We're talking. Well, today it's definitely
Well,
warranted.
today it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about My Hero Academia, Chapter 351. Edgar, this is the first time we've ever talked about an individual chapter, but we decided that some chapters, especially manga that we're caught up on, we should talk about, especially if something big happens. Just a preface, if you are an anime watcher for My Hero Academia, there are spoilers ahead, so don't spoil yourself.
Yeah.
Duh.
Go
Don't
away.
do
Sorry.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe next time, whenever the anime gets adapted to this point.
Exactly.
So
don't spoil yourself. The story is great. Don't
go away.
Don't do it.
Shoo.
Get out.
Shoo.
Yeah.
Out
Get
the door.
here. So, My Hero Academia, Chapter 351, for us manga readers. Shoto Todoroki versus Dabi, also known as Toya Todoroki. The past couple of chapters, we've had some Toya backstory, which I have really enjoyed. Has been really creepy.
That was good art. Really good illustrations. I really think Horikoshi is underrated. And I feel like people overlook. He's like it's my hero, It's kind of
I think that's My Hero in general. I feel like a lot of people overlook it just because of like stuff of the fandom.
He's a great artist. He's super detailed.
And the story's
in some
really
moments.
good with a lot of like underlying themes with it, which I think is great. Yeah.
But this chapter made me forget, wow, we're getting Todoroki moments. He's usually
Edgar, you talked about this, that you were like, there hasn't been any Todoroki moments.
Yeah, even
so
Ida was
long.
there.
Yeah.
It's just seeing Ida. This is what I'm saying. I mean, and this might sound like it's a negative of the storytelling, but it really feels like we haven't gotten much Todoroki and Ida love, because there's so much. I mean, when you're in a war, there's only so much you can focus on when it came to the war arc. And then obviously we had to focus on Deku when it came to his. I'm pretty sure the word prison or the escape prisoners.
The prisoner escape arc
or something like that.
Yeah.
Either way,
trying to wrangle him up.
And his vigilante phase, that's all you can focus on. I mean, it's just that's what you get when you have these obviously bigger problems to deal with. But it is great seeing Todoroki back in the main front, and him fighting. Super cool. Fire on fire fights is cool and always remind me of Avatar: The Last Airbender with Azula and Zuko. We might get something, and they're relatives, and Dabi and Todoroki relatives.
And Dabi's kind of insane.
Yeah, exactly. So
and Todoroki's got a scar like Zuko.
Exactly.
Horikoshi has been asked about the similarities between Zuko and Todoroki, and apparently he has never watched Avatar, which I call BS on.
I did mention to you the last week that the director of Logan said that he's never heard or played Last of Us.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, did you get inspiration from Last of Us? He's like, he plays it, and he's like, oh, yeah, I can see the resemblance.
I guess I did, yeah.
So maybe I guess people just are that recluse from everything else and just, don't realize their comparisons with each other. But yeah,
this is definitely one of the biggest parts of My Hero Academia is the Todoroki family. It had its own arc basically with the arc where they trained under Endeavor. I don't remember the name right now. But so this chapter starts with the two of them talking about Endeavor and about or not the two of them. It's
more yelling at each other.
Yeah, it's an inscription from the Hero Society book or something like that, and it talks about Endeavor's heat and how he mastered his heat. And basically this chapter is about how he has two basically these are the two sides of Endeavor. There's the side of his son, which has which has come to terms with himself, and the other side that is just an absolute madman.
And what's weird is that, I mean, maybe I just need to reread the chapters, but I'm trying to determine on who Endeavor. I mean, both were treated poorly by Endeavor because they are both his sons. I
think Dabi wasn't. I don't think
Yeah,
Dabi was. I think Dabi hurt himself.
Yeah,
and that pushed Endeavor to be the madman.
Yeah, because it really. I mean, Endeavor wasn't a great father with Dabi, but Todoroki really got the worst end of Endeavor when it came to him being a horrible father. And it's just really not ironic, but it's just really interesting to see how Todoroki turned up so well, at least now. Not great, but he's on the hero side, and he's all good. And he
Mhm.
has friends, and he has a father and family who cares for him.
Yeah.
And Dobby is just like on the exact opposite spectrum of this.
Yeah.
Even though he had somewhat, while not a best relationship with his father, but he, still ended up this way. Even though he got, in a sense, a better end of
Yeah.
that.
Definitely. And this is one of the reasons why I love My Hero so much, is because, the societal problems in My Hero.
The society.
We live
In a society.
but they are so prevalent in the making of superheroes and supervillains in a sense that is just crazy. If you need just a little bit of a reminder, Dobby was born with extreme firepower. That's why his fire is blue, exactly like Azula from Avatar. But
just naturally gifted.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
It tends to be.
But he was born with like the skin and softness of his mother. So he has like an ice quirk, quote
Really?
unquote. Yes. So his skin is like ice, basically.
I always,
yeah.
you were watching me reading this chapter. I was like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Sometimes,
yeah.
I mean, I don't like speed through these chapters. It's just sometimes
Yeah.
there's just so many things.
Well, they
you
didn't
miss.
explain it in this chapter. This was like a
No,
long
yeah,
time ago.
but
Yeah.
it probably same thing happened. I read it, I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, and then the things like now I'm just realizing like, oh, that happened, really?
Yeah.
That was explained. But that's interesting. That makes a lot more sense why his skin is so delicate.
Yeah, but Dr. Garaki in the last chapter talks about how his fires of rage have made him, overcome that. Has made him overcome like his skin deficiency.
Yeah.
That he's just used to his body just burning up now. But yeah, so also what happens in this chapter is we get an evil version of Hell Spider, which is very cool, which I think is one of my favorite attacks from the series.
Yeah.
When Endeavor in that one episode, the season 4 finale, when he's like, "It's time to slice and burn, Hell Spider," and
Yeah.
he like
So
takes the building and like, yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
sick.
get a blue version of that. That'll be
Mhm.
really cool. The art
Oh,
was
yeah.
really, really, really good. He also does another move that was reminiscent of Jet Burn.
Jet Burn, yeah.
Yeah, he also Dobby uses Jet Burn on him, but
obviously the last chapter ended with them doing Flash Fire Fists.
I hope this fight is handled well in the anime. I'm not really a
Yeah.
huge fan of fire on fire fights because it is like fire is very impactful on screen and on on paper.
Yeah.
But like it is fire, so it's not like a punch. Like
This is the same studio that does Fire Force, right?
no. That's David Productions. Bones handles My Hero Academia.
Oh, Bones is
The
My
thing
Hero,
with
yeah,
Fire
yeah.
Force is that there's so many ways that fire is used in that, and
Yeah.
and in a sense in that anime, fire is more like a impact. There's always like there's always like
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I guess in this universe in My Hero,
Yeah.
at least with Dobby and Todoroki, it's like more of a
Yeah,
it's like actual fire.
It's like actual
At
fire.
times.
The element of fire
Yeah.
is very different in Fire
So if
Force,
it's I hope it's handled well. At least the visuals will look amazing because
Mhm.
like I said in Avatar: Last Airbender, as it will be hopefully in this, the red and blue flames against each other will look great.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
surprised me that this chapter was again short.
Yeah, it's very
15
short.
pages.
15 pages.
Last one was 19 pages. I think actually was probably a bit shorter, but these chapters usually go average 19 to 21 pages, but these have been coming out
Yeah,
short.
I think that actually might have to do with so Horikoshi is on a hiatus, I think, until the 15th.
He's been taking, at least for the past few weeks, he's been taking
Yeah.
like a gap week break between each chapter.
Yeah.
At least it's happened several times.
I
It
hope
happened
he's
this week,
okay.
and it
Yeah.
happened the previous chapter release, and I think it might happen again. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it does. But anyway, another main visual that happens in this chapter is Dobby, of course, melting the All Might statue.
Rip
That
statue.
that was left there after he just absolutely destroyed.
Got
all
a lot
for
of screen
one.
time. that
Yeah.
statue did.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, obviously, Shoto Todoroki's his big idol is All Might. Whenever he was
A kid.
Yeah, when he was a kid and he
As
was,
everyone's is.
getting beaten up by Endeavor, he saw All Might and he was like, "Oh boy, I wish my dad was All Might."
I
you
wish
know?
my dad wouldn't beat me.
Yeah, and yeah,
Just in
Wow.
general.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, look, another adult that doesn't beat on me, like
Yeah, exactly.
literally anyone
Exactly.
else.
I love the fact that all of Endeavor's sidekicks are with him. Just Endeavor sending all of his sidekicks, just to make sure he's safe. Ida is there.
Yeah.
And
I really hope Ida has a moment. I want him to be important. I really thought he was going to be like, I know there's like an obvious trio, which barely feels like a trio because they don't do, other than Bakugo, Todoroki, it doesn't do that much.
Horikoshi has said that the 5 main characters are the main trio and Ida and Uraraka.
Yeah, but it's other than Uraraka a little bit, but it really feels like Ida hasn't been.
Uraraka's going to have her moment.
I hope so.
She
did have a big moment at the school, vouching for Deku to be welcomed in.
She has her final boss, which is what's her face?
I know who you're talking about.
Blood-sucking girl.
What?
Schoolgirl. How did I forget her name? What?
Oh my God!
What is
I
wrong
swear
with
to
us?
you, we watch this show and read the manga.
I'm like one of the biggest My Hero fans you'll ever see, and I forgot her name.
I'm gonna shoot.
Oh no! Oh, dude, this is so bad.
I'm just gonna look at the camera.
Yes, do it.
You go on while I try to figure this out.
I'll move on. So, I would love for a moment, like when Shoto saved Ida in the arc with Stain, in the Stain arc.
Toga.
I would love Toga.
Oh my God.
Toga. Okay, there you go.
Himiko Toga.
I kept thinking Toge, but that's Inomaki from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh my God.
So I hope he gets a moment here. I understand a lot of people want it to be a one-on-one fight, but it's not really how a lot of fights go in My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
There's a lot of,
It's kind of too big to have.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have those moments, but I don't think we've gotten a moment like that since season 4, like with Kirishima and.
Well, but Fat Gum was there. That's what I'm saying.
But that felt more secluded than most fights go in My Hero.
But I would say the most secluded battle was probably All for One versus All Might.
Yeah,
because
no one could touch him.
Yeah, because nobody was there, and I think the whole point of My Hero is that all the heroes need to work together. It can't just be one person, because this is what happens to society when it's just one person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hope Ida gets involved in this and does something, and if not in this, I hope there is some bigger threat, that happens later on, because I think. Obviously, as we learn in this chapter, Endeavor, or we learned a couple chapters ago, Endeavor is with All for One.
No, yikes.
And
big opponent.
I think he's going to lose. I think he's going to get wrecked.
Yeah, I was surprised that he didn't, considering how much he wants to tie things up with Davi, he didn't choose to, or whether he didn't choose to be with, to go
it
fight
says in
Davi.
this chapter, Shoto tells him, I want to take down.
Oh, so he told him, like, you can go somewhere else.
You should go fight All for One.
Okay. Yeah.
And help.
I'm worried. I'm really worried. Well, we haven't seen All for One do his thing yet, because all we've seen was the very beginning of that. But I'm really worried for Bakugo's team with Shigaraki. Because, like, the way they put it, like, all these hands, and if he touches anything, if he activates his quirk, it's done.
Exactly. But where is Mirio? This is what I'm saying. So like Mirio would be perfect for that, because if Shigaraki like touches the ground, Mirio just goes whoop and just.
He better not just pop up and then just appear again like he did at the war.
Yeah, I think he is with that group, and I think they're using him. I think like Shigaraki's gonna be like doing something, and then he's gonna pop up and be like, "Hey, what's up?" I don't know. I think Horikoshi, I understand Endeavor is huge, but I think it actually would have been cool to see Mirio versus All for One. I think that would have been cool and interesting.
Yeah, considering that he was at some point in the point of the story, he was #1 spot.
He was the big senpai,
Yeah,
he was for Deku.
At least in Aizawa's eyes, he was like the first guy. He was the guy with the biggest chance to be the #1 hero. Obviously, we still knew it was gonna be Deku because we knew what he had.
Yeah.
But like in the
not anymore.
But like by definition, technically he should still be #2, or at least have the biggest chance to be #2. But obviously, it seems like all of our heroes are growing up to be stronger than they ever could have been. So.
Definitely. So what I think is going to happen is I think Endeavor's going to lose his quirk, and he's going to live out the rest of his days as a family man. I don't think he's going to die, but I think it completes Endeavor's character arc for him to get his quirk taken away, and he just has to live, as a normal human being, and he can be a dad for the rest of his life,
Or he just might die.
I don't think he's going to die. I
don't know, man.
I don't think his arc is complete. I
I don't
think
know. He's got a redemption. He's
but
gotten a pretty good
he
redemption.
has, but I don't think it's complete. You want to know who's been kicking around a while and who has completed their arc?
All Might?
Yeah.
Oh no, not
He-
All Might.
Yeah.
First his statue, and then it's him.
I think so. I know I have a lot of theories about this, but what I think is going to happen is I think we will see Prime All Might one last time.
We're in the end game now.
We are in the end game now. I think
You think
because
because of
Horikoshi,
Eri?
yeah,
Eri.
Horikoshi has said that Eri has a big part to play. Maybe All for One. Maybe this is just a stage, and All for One is just trying to get his hands on Eri and some like huge. Because if he gets his hands on Eri's quirk, it's
He'll
over.
because he'll get all his quirks back, reversing.
Yeah, it's over.
It'll reverse stars and stripes.
Yeah.
Work on him.
Yeah, it's over. It's literally over.
She got a new volume cover on the My Hero. She has a
She
volume
on
cover.
the cover?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of
But
cool.
I know
Yeah.
I loved her section of chapters, but I completely forgot. I'm gonna be honest, I completely
Yeah,
forgot
no,
that
I did too.
because of
Uh,
she did die.
it would have been better because I thought it would have been better if she would have shown up in Vigilantes and then she would have been ingrained. But there's another hero from America in Vigilantes whose name is Captain Celebrity, and like yeah, he's
Is
supposed
it
to be
Ryan Gosling or Brad Pitt or something?
kind of
with a
He's-
bunch of guns.
He's kind of like that. But yeah, but like it's just so weird that she was just never mentioned before and she just kind of like showed up, you know.
You gotta. I mean, you shoot yourself in the foot whenever you introduce a character that
Yeah.
powerful. And I don't know. I mean, that's what you get. Well, MCU is always
And
like that.
but a lot of people but they grow into heroes, you know.
Yeah.
But like she was a lot of people thought like they say that a lot of people thought that she was the number one hero after All Might, you know. After All Might left.
Well, I could argue
Um,
that she probably. I mean, she's just too. Her quirk was way
Her
too
quirk
powerful.
was way too powerful.
One could argue
yeah.
that she was still the number one hero.
Yeah, it's
considering
a
her
little
quirk.
bit of a broken quirk. But anyway, so do you think All Might's gonna die?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
think
could
so.
see it.
Yeah.
I could see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen. But it really seems he's involved in this. Why are you here, All
Yeah.
Might? Like he's involved in this. He's involved in the battle. At least not like fighting,
He's
but
away,
he's
but
he's there.
I think they're gonna beat some of the heroes, but I think All for One is going to gain the upper hand on this. You know, obviously there are so many questions that we'll talk about at another time. Deku has a whole nother quirk that we don't know about.
Bakugo from the future.
Yeah,
question mark.
Bakugo from the future.
I remember. I mean, it really
yeah.
looks like him. That
Yeah,
user.
It does. So obviously this chapter ends with an awesome panel of Shoto charging up his Flashfire Fist, Phosphor, which is
Element.
which is an element which mixes I think fire and ice. So he's using Flashfire Fist, but with fire and ice at the same time.
Nice.
Which is very, very cool. It's going to be fascinating to see how this ends. If anything else big happens in the My Hero Academia manga, we'll talk about it. Anything else to say about this chapter, Edgar?
No, I just look forward to the rest, and I hope everyone gets their moment to shine, just like Todoroki's getting his.
Yeah, I agree. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much. If you want to check out some other stuff, you can check out the Manga Monday show on Spotify, on Anchor, on YouTube, on Instagram. We have cool shorts. Funny shorts, animated shorts.
I think
if you
they're
wanna
funny.
see- Yeah, I think they're funny too. I think a lot of people think they're funny too. But yeah, check us out on all that stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next Shonen Junk.
Peace.